Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we finally got a little bit of a winter snowstorm. We've got maybe 3 inches of snow, which isn't a lot, but it's just enough here to make driving a little treacherous. So I thought, whilst on my way to work, as you see my beautiful fiance left in her safe ride, which is a Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe with the Bridgestone Dueler Revo AT3 tires, so she'll have no problem getting to work. And as you can see here, I'm in my front wheel drive Chevy Volt, and I just wanted to make another snow video here and show you my commute to work because it could be a little treacherous. Right now it's almost freezing, so here we go as we try to accelerate here. And my headlights are currently covered too. But as you can see, the way to work is treacherous right now. I could have did a lot better job clearing off the snow on my vehicle, but I just decided not to. Otherwise, we've got pretty heavy snowfall rates right now that are supposed to end here about 8 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock, somewhere around there. And I actually do have to go down to Eau Claire towing a trailer, my equipment hauler, today. So that's maybe a little treacherous here depending on the roads. But that's a video for another time. So right now, the Volt again, it's just, I'm just thoroughly amazed here at how good the Volt does in this lesser conditions. And you can see here the roads aren't perfect by any means, but the Volt is again just trudging through the snow as it should. I mean, it's only 3 inches and this is a heavy vehicle. And I do have on the front, I do have Continental True Contact Tour 54s on there, which are very good. As you can see, the Plowman is driving. Very cool shot right there. That is not the road we're going to take though. We're not going to take SS. We're going to take the side road here in order to get to work. But the roads are not they're not great by any means. So I'm going to try to do is go straight. There we go. Woo! Get up this hill here. And then now we're smooth sailing on three, maybe even more inches of snow right now. And right now, if we slam on the brakes, the car does a pretty good job at stopping. And then if we start back up again here, it takes a little bit having it floored, but it does do a good job at get up and going here, as it should. I mean, this is pretty, this used to be standard and now it's not anymore. So this is the largest snow that I have seen in 2 years here in northern Wisconsin, which is absolutely wild. We can't even get the snowmobile trails to open, which is again absolutely wild. But you can see here the Volt is going very well through this stuff. The one thing I don't really like about the Volt, and they changed this in the newer iteration of it, but the Volt, I don't like the front air dam on it. There's that rubbery type of air dam material on the front that is supposed to make it more aerodynamic. But really, when you're trudging through anything more than 3 inches of snow, I've noticed, like getting into my driveway after the Plowman went through, I find that, that front air dam tends to bend a little bit, which it's supposed to, but I don't really like it that much. So, this is essentially what we're dealing with here. Again, not great, not bad, not great, but the snow is really coming down. I'm actually pretty impressed here at how fast the snow is coming down. You can see my speed at what I'm going right now, about 40 miles an hour. And I want to just try another brake test here. So let's get this. I'm gonna slam on the brakes now. So I'm finding that at higher speeds, and this is something I found out before. We're actually gonna take traction control off here, and we're going to try to just get going. Yeah, it's because I'm sliding so much here, you could see just how much I'm sliding with the pedal all the way to the floor. It's almost better to just leave the traction control on and do its job. That's what it's designed to do. So that's what we're dealing with right now. The other thing, which the Volt does have going for it, it's got an aggressive, almost one pedal driving with the low gear, which is just regenerative braking mode, essentially. And what that does is if you've ever experienced an electric vehicle, it's like one pedal driving. So I'm almost slowing down faster because of the resistance from the snow and the resistance from the motor, from the electric motor for one pedal driving than I would be if I were to slam on the brakes. You can see I'm just sliding absolutely everywhere when I slam on the brakes, which is not good. That's something you wouldn't expect out of this vehicle. Now, granted, I don't have the Continental True Contact Tours on the back of the vehicle. I have some Master Force or Mastercraft really crappy tire on there that has maybe maybe 5,000 miles left of tread. So that does have a little bit to do with it as well, but these True Contact Tours are very good, I would say. Other than that, again, we're coming up to a stop sign. If you respect the road in this Volt with this much snow and ice and whatever's on the roads, if you respect the road and you're able to essentially get through this stuff here, you know, I'm actually going to get out right now. There's nobody coming. So I'm actually just going to get out and kind of show you what we're dealing with here. You know, and just take a quick pic. Just essentially what we're dealing with here with the snow on the ground. It's not like a light puffy snow. It's actually a slippery, slick snow. It's a little windy too. And that's essentially what we're dealing with. So here we go, put it back into regenerative mode. It does take a little bit to get going though. That's one thing you have to respect this vehicle because it is front wheel drive. So that's one thing to note. They have really not done a good job at plowing these roads yet, but if you respect the conditions and you leave this vehicle in regeneration mode, in regenerative braking mode, it will slow you down enough and you'll feel comfortable while using it too, which is awesome. So there again, you know, it slowed me down if you give it enough time. The only problem is if you slam on the brakes, that stopping distance goes up unless you're going at lower speeds. I found around 25 miles an hour or less. But if you're going 40, 50 and this type of stuff, yeah, you're going to notice that your stopping speeds are almost better just leave it in regeneration mode, which is interesting. It is actually interesting. The one thing you're going to notice here, I don't have my hands on the steering wheel, which is not to be advised, but this Volt, and I'm trying to drive through the thicker amount of snow here, because of the tires and because of the weight of this vehicle. You know, with me in it, this is over 4,000 pounds with some gas in it and stuff like that. Because of the weight of this vehicle, it just trenches itself through this snow. It makes its own trench essentially and gets through the snow no problem. You're not being waved or wavered back and forth at all, and you're pretty much going on a straight line. I'm dealing with a little bit of wind right now, so that may the occasional push left to right may have to do with that, but honestly here, this is doing an excellent job keeping me in a straight line where I need to go. And I've been in all-wheel drive vehicles. For example, my Jeep SRT, where you get on this and it will just send you every which way imaginable. So these tires are good. The weight of this vehicle is good because it is down low. You know, this is a low center of gravity vehicle where it does an excellent job at keeping you straight in line and where you need to be. It looks like we have a plow truck coming up here, which is good. I'm really excited when the day comes, which won't be for a long time, but I really want to try a Gen 2 Volt someday, and I really want to try that traction control system. I mean, this is a 2013, a Gen 1 Volt, so, you know, you don't get a snow mode, you don't get anything like that. You're just reliant on the native traction control unit that's in here. And it honestly does a good job, but I think it could do a little bit better with the traction control management system. But it still does, for a 2013 being an older vehicle, it still does an excellent job here. There goes snow plow right there. That side of the road is excellent now, or better, I should say. I'm just impressed right now at how good this vehicle does. Oh my goodness. Any little type of traction this car can find, it grips to it and it just takes off, which is good. And that's something, you know, if you live in a climate like this where you do get snow, where you're supposed to get snow quite frequently, that is a really, really good thing, because the vehicle will just take off and go. I'm curious to see now how some of the interstates are going to be by us, because of the fact that we've got this snow, and I do have to do a little bit of trailer towing here later in the day. Well, about an hour from now, so I'm curious to see how that is going to go. Going to have to respect the road. I wish that Jeep handled as well as this Chevy Volt does in this cold weather. Again, I'm not using the brakes. I'm just letting the snow resistance slow me down, along with the regenerative braking. So again, here you can see I'm just trying to just get my foot somewhere on the throttle, so this will speed up. That's one negative here. If I had dedicated winter tires, or if I even had some Cross Climate 2s from Michelin, this car would handle a lot better in the snow. But I don't, so I'm kind of stuck with what I have. Although these True Contact 2 or 54s are excellent, I have to say. Very, very impressed with these tires. Quiet, responsive, compliant ride, and good in snow, good in sleet, good in slush, good in rain, pretty much good in any wet substance. I have found, more so than other tires that were either on this vehicle or on any other front-wheel drive vehicle that I have had. It's amazing to see here as I'm going, you know, the speed that I'm going, how fast some other people are driving. And I'm not a slow wintertime driver by any means, but I drove enough miles in my life to learn how to respect the road and respect the vehicle when you are driving in these bad conditions. You know, sometimes when I used to have a Ram truck, before I sold it for my Jeep SRT, I wouldn't necessarily respect the conditions of the road very much, because I was in a 6,000 plus full-size truck with Bridgestone TAKO2s on, or BF Goodrich, I'm sorry, TAKO2s on, where you don't necessarily need to respect the road. But now when you're driving in vehicles like this, you do need to learn to respect the road a little bit more, and it will respect you back. And that's essentially what I'm doing with this Volt. And you see a lot of people who really need to start taking wintertime driving lessons from someone, because their wintertime driving is just horrendous, just horrendously bad. People always tend to drive too fast during the wintertime. And if you respect your vehicle, you've got the proper tires on, even a decent all season, you're gonna be just good to go. You'll be fine. Again, plowed road here, just a light dusting of snow on top. I don't think I'm making contact with the road underneath. I think it's just all snow / ice, but the Volt again here is trudging along just fine and making its way through all of this bad weather here. It appears the farther south we go, as we go into work, the snow gets a little bit less and less. So I think we're through the heavy stuff right now and we should be good. But I am just amazed here. Actually, the more south we go, it seems like there's less snow as well here. Wowee. So there might have been a little bit of a cut off by Highway 8 where the snow was and wasn't. It's amazing what constitutes a winter storm watch or winter storm warning nowadays. Even compared to about 5 years ago, it seems like they will throw a winter storm on anything that is 1 to 2 inches or more, and that's essentially what we got here. By the house, it was more like 3. Down here, as I get closer to my business, it seems like it's about 1 to 2 inches. I actually don't know if they plowed these roads yet. I think they did, but it's tough to tell. They did a little bit, but not much. Again here, coming up to a stop sign, we're just letting the vehicle slow itself with the resistance from the snow. And there we go. Now as we apply the brakes here, they did plow a little bit. Now as we apply the brakes, we can slow down just fine. Take a right here, and then we'll accelerate a little bit. Traction control does work. You can see there it's working. It's good that it does work. Again, I wish there was some sort of snow mode or something like that this vehicle could use, but there is not. So that is a little bit of a detriment to this Gen 1 Volt. But I do have to say it is getting me to where I need to go safely. Just got to be careful coming up to the stop signs. Vehicles coming. They did not plow this road, so it does look to be about 2 inches, 2.5 to 3 inches of snow down here. So maybe that, a couple inches I would say, so a little bit less snow down in this neck of the woods here. Even when, and you can hear the snow coming up on that side of the car through the wheel well, even when you're going through that, it's amazing how straight this vehicle stays. Just thoroughly amazed here. Again, we're taking a slight little curve and the Volt is handling its own and just getting through this. It's quite amazing. And now the one negative thing about going through snow, the little bit of snow we've gotten this year, you can see the mileage of the vehicle has gone down significantly because you are pushing a force that is an object that is 4,000 pounds through a force that likes to stop its object, which is the snow. So granted, I do have the climate on comfort mode, so it's been on 100% the whole time. That does affect it. But now with the fact that we're pushing through the snow here, it appears that we are losing battery very fast. So usually, to put this into perspective, usually in the summertime I have around 35 miles of charge to the battery. Right now I started with 22, and we'll be lucky to get to work with some battery to spare. Now, granted, I have been, I haven't been using my normal driving style. I've been stopping and flooring and stuff like that. So that does affect it a little bit too. But you could see it almost took me a whole charge just to go what's going to end up being about 13 miles, 13-ish miles, somewhere around there. 13 to 14. So that's something to keep in mind, that if you do live in a wintry climate, you're going to have to deal with reduced range in the wintertime, partly because of the climate control system and in part because of the energy it takes to get through snow as well, which it definitely takes a little bit more power to get this through snow than it does through wind, for sure. Pair it with wind and you're not looking very good. But because the snow just slows us down so much, it's going to take extra power to get this vehicle through it, for sure. So as we approach the home stretch here, again, I am just thoroughly impressed with the Volt at how well it does getting through this snow and providing me with a safe ticket to my destination all the time. Again, this is honestly probably one of the most heaviest, well, this is the heaviest snow that I've driven this vehicle, and which isn't a lot. It's sad, but it isn't a lot, but I definitely feel good and okay getting to where I need to go safely. So as you can see, the plow came through here, and the traction control system here is working, and we are almost there. But thank you for joining me on my short, well, longer drive to work here. It was quite uneventful, which is good. That's exactly what we want when we're in this Volt. I've had a lot of qualms buying a front-wheel drive vehicle for wintertime usage, but this vehicle has just blown my expectations away. I can't believe how good it is. So with that being said, everyone, thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.